Among New Zealand's food businesses, ProLife Foods is a giant. A turnover of hundreds of millions of dollars a year, more than 700 staff, and built on a massive 8.5-hectare site in Hamilton. It's a far cry from when Bernie Crosby and his wife Kay started the business 35 years ago, almost by accident.
And almost they inadvertently fell into this business because they had a debt owing actually he was an immigrant and he'd borrowed some money off them. He actually couldn't repay the money, but what he did have was he had some Turkish apricots that he'd imported. So he also had a retirement home, and so Bernie and Kay Crosby had the option of either taking over this retirement home or taking on these dried apricots, and so that's what they decided to do. So basically they packaged them up and went around shops in the Waikato trying to sell these apricots, and when they did, people said, well, what other products have you got? And it kind of started from there. So very much the kitchen scales were operated to measure out the products, and the family car was used to deliver it, and that's really how it started.
They got $100,000 in sales that first year, but since then ProLife has morphed into the country's largest importer, manufacturer and marketer of nuts, dried fruits, snacks, cereals, confectionery products and more, with a $300 million annual turnover and major supermarket deals across New Zealand, Australia and Singapore. Their core business, bulk foods.
And so we have a brand, Allison's Pantry, in New Zealand that does that. That also is in Singapore now. And in Australia, we do the same thing, but we use the Scoop and Weigh brand.
Allison's Pantry is the product of a highly successful partnership with celebrity chef Alison Holst, but it took a while for the business to find its niche, over the years diversifying into catering lines, canned goods, oils, herbs and spices, and major business in the hospitality trade, before shifting focus on to bulk self-selection. Chief Executive Andrew Smith says it's taken a while, but the company has grown steadily.
Like every business, it's had its periods where it's had to kind of come back a bit and rebuild, but certainly over the last 20 years, and particularly over the last 10 years, it's had a very strong trajectory, and it's certainly kind of expanded its business.
This expansion has been into two main areas. First, ProLife bought Mother Earth from Cadbury to give them a more classic FMCG grocery business. Mother Earth is today New Zealand's most trusted muesli bar and snack bar brand, according to the 2018 Reader's Digest Trusted Brands Survey. And then 3 or 4 years ago, ProLife turned their hand to honey.
Very much that New Zealand Manuka honey, that kind of the gold in that honey, and we've become a vertically integrated business that we have our own hives, and we have our own land, we have our own processing, and we also of course use our sales and marketing skills to sell it internationally.
Aside from Allison's Pantry and Mother Earth, ProLife supplies the value pack pre-packaged brand Te Horo Jams and Donovan's Chocolates to the domestic market. Donovan's Chocolates and Mother Earth are sold into a number of international markets, including Singapore, Malaysia, China, Hong Kong, United Arab Emirates and Oman. But Australia is their major focus internationally.
And really, we think of Australia now as another home market. We have a factory there, we have 700 staff, all Australians now, who are running and building that business. It's over $100 million of revenue now, and so really it's been an 8-year journey to really go from nothing organically to build that, and now we're starting to work international markets beyond there.
The aim is to become a $500 million business in the next 3 to 5 years by focusing in particular on new growth in the Asian, Middle Eastern and American markets. And although innovation and entrepreneurship lie at the heart of the business, ProLife Foods once even dabbled in cleaning products, Andrew Smith says they are committed to being a food company.
I think there's a massive opportunity within food. At the edges of food, we're kind of into pharmaceutical food, particularly with Manuka honey, and we have a few products kind of that are more lozenges and those sort of things. So we're on the edge of food, but I think that's our core, if you like.